Ask anyone at Nissan and they'll tell you that the Qashqai is the original crossover vehicle. The first generation model was launched back in 2007, and since then the Japanese manufacturer has gone on to sell around 2.3 million examples in Europe alone. Now in its second generation, Nissan is confident that the latest Qashqai will be able to continue on the success of its predecessor. From an aesthetic point of view, not a huge deal has changed with the new Qashqai compared with the second generation model that was launched in 2014. There is a slightly revised front end, with a larger V-motion grille, sleeker headlights and taillights and more chrome brightwork to help give the Qashqai a more upmarket image. A new top-flight trim level has also been introduced, called Tekna Plus, which Nissan hopes will appeal to those buyers after a more premium crossover. There's also greater emphasis on refinement in the cabin. The biggest headline with the new Qashqai, however, is Nissan's ProPilot autonomous driving technology. This will be available from 2018, and will allow the Qashqai to control its steering, acceleration and braking in a single lane on motorways at cruising speed and in heavy traffic. We were handed the keys to the range-topping Tekna Plus model, which was fitted with Nissan's 1.5-liter four-cylinder diesel engine. This power plant develops a modest 109 bhp and 260 Nm of torque, which allows for a 0-60 mph sprint time of 11.7 seconds and a top speed of 113 mph. While performance might not be this engine's forte, it's certainly impressive as far as economy is concerned. Nissan claims the 1.5-liter diesel unit can manage a combined fuel consumption figure of 74.3 mpg, while CO2 emissions stand at 99 grams per kilometer. To say the Nissan Qashqai is an exciting car to drive would be an overstatement. It's certainly capable, but it's not going to set your heart racing with any outstanding dynamic abilities. Through the corners it's predictable, and while there is a bit of body roll it's not enough to make you feel unsettled. While the Qashqai may not be at home on a winding country back road, as a long-distance cruiser it makes a great deal of sense. Even on those large 19-inch alloy wheels, our test vehicle dealt with imperfections in the road rather well, and there wasn't a great deal of road or wind noise that made its way into the cabin. The seats are also impressively comfortable, combining a good amount of softness and support. Compared with its predecessor, not a great deal has changed. The front end has been touched up a bit, while the back end has also been slightly revised. There's new headlight and taillights, while the V-motion grille at the front end of the car has also been enlarged. Higher specification models feature a greater amount of exterior chrome brightwork to help give the Qashqai a more upmarket look. While these changes certainly aren't drastic, they do help the Qashqai look fresh when compared with its immediate rivals. That said, they don't go far enough in making the Qashqai look truly desirable. It's certainly not unattractive, but it's not going to excite anyone either. You can tell that Nissan has really worked hard to make the interior of the latest Qashqai an appealing place to sit. Our top-flight Tekna Plus model featured plush quilted leather seats, a premium Bose stereo system and smart-looking piano black paneling around the infotainment system. However, while these features might go some way to lifting the appeal of the Qashqai, there are still a number of surfaces that remind you it isn't quite the premium crossover it's cracked up to be. As far as interior space is concerned, the Qashqai will easily meet the needs of most families. There's more than enough room across the back seats for 3 children, and 2 taller adult passengers will also be able to ride in comfort over longer journeys. Boot space stands at 430 liters with the rear seats in place, and can be increased to 1,598 liters with the seats folded down. As you would expect from a top-level trim, Tekna Plus offers Qashqai buyers plenty of kit for their money. Prices start at a fairly considerable £27,830 and will get you standard equipment such as full Napa leather upholstery, a premium Bose sound system, electronically adjustable driver's seat and a panoramic glass roof. However, The vast majority of Qashqai customers will likely opt for the mid-range and Connector models, which start at £23,805. Standard equipment with this trim level includes a 7-inch touchscreen with satellite navigation, 18-inch alloys, and a range of driver assist systems such as intelligent emergency braking and lane departure warning. The new Nissan Qashqai may not be the most exciting on sale, or even in its segment, but that's not to say it isn't incredibly capable. We'd probably steer clear of the top-flight Tekna Plus model and opt instead for one of the more affordable mid-range models, as they represent better value for money in our eyes, but if you can afford it, it's unlikely you'll be disappointed with the top-flight car.
Nissan debuted the Rogue Hybrid in January of this year, and by the time it recently arrived in the Roadshow headquarters garage, I'd totally forgotten about it. With only a 5 or 6 mpg advantage over the standard Rogue, and only 2 mpg better on the highway, it doesn't look very exciting on paper and is, honestly, a fairly forgettable and mild boost that easily got lost amidst a larger mid-cycle styling upgrade. Then again, the standard Rogue is actually a pretty good starting point with pretty good performance, cargo area, efficiency and tech. It's not my favorite choice in the class, but it's still a very solid pick. So, even a mild bump in performance and efficiency should leave the Rogue Hybrid in a pretty good place, even better considering our 2017.5 Nissan Rogue Hybrid SV is only $1,000 more than the non-hybrid SV AWD model. The biggest change that comes to the Rogue Hybrid happens under the hood, where the 2.5-liter standard engine has been replaced with a smaller 2.0-liter mill that makes 141 horsepower and 144 pound-feet of torque. The smaller engine is mated with an electric motor that adds 30 kilowatts to the party, about 40 horsepower, and 118 pound-feet of torque. The hybrid system's combined peak output of 176 horsepower is 6 ponies more than the larger standard gasoline engine, but it feels less torquey. Since Nissan doesn't state peak combined hybrid torque, hybrid math isn't as simple as adding the pound-feet. I can't confirm my suspicions. I noted that the hybrid feels less responsive off of the line than the standard Rogue, but I'm not sure if the powertrain or the extra weight, about 200 pounds, is to blame. In the initial instant of acceleration from a stop, when the e-motor operates alone, the hybrid feels sort of wimpy and hesitant. Only when the gasoline engine kicks in does the SUV start to feel alive and willing to get up and go. What really tweaks me about this powertrain is the inconsistent throttle feel around town. Starting with not enough pedal off the line and ending up with a hair too much throttle when the gasoline engine kicks in, resulting in a sudden lurch of acceleration. It's mildly annoying, but not the end of the world, and with much patience I eventually learn where the hybrid's sweet spots were. Like the standard Rogue, the hybrid is based on a front-wheel drive architecture, but is available with an optional all-wheel drive system. Checking that box brings the FWD hybrid's EPA fuel economy estimates of 34 city, 33 highway and 35 combined mpg down to 31 city, 34 highway and 33 combined, about a 2 mpg drop across the board. That said, I ended my relaxed week of testing at a disappointing average of about 26 combined mpg. Regardless of the chosen powertrain, all Rogue models feature Nissan's Tronic continuously variable transmission, CVT, which eschews fixed gear ratios in favor of infinitely variable ratios. Nissan has proven that it can build a good CVT with the standard Rogue, and it's just as good here on the hybrid, with none of the hunting and rubber banding that tend to plague this lesser examples of this drive-the-train. The standard Rogue is a fairly spacious little SUV. So spacious that there's even an option for a third-row seat. The hybrid model, not so much, thanks to its lithium-ion battery pack. The bank of batteries lies beneath the floor of the rear cargo area where the standard models divide and hide, Rolls-Royce, storage space would be. This means that the hybrid loses about 12 cubic feet of maximum cargo capacity and can't be equipped with a family package third-row seating option. It's still got a very respectable 27 cubic feet of trunk for your junk behind the second row, so it's not a total loss, and the rest of the cabin is just as spacious as the non-hybrid. Speaking of the rest of the cabin, I've got one small nitpick with the Rogue Hybrid's ergonomics. Overall, it's a comfortable place to sit, but Nissan has tucked most of the buttons for the all-wheel drive system, liftgate, drive modes and driver aid systems beneath the dashboard at the driver's left knee. They're not possible for me to see down there without craning my neck, which is fine for most of them. I'm not going to be opening the liftgate on the highway. However, I just didn't understand why at least the drive mode buttons, which are meant to be pressed while driving, weren't on the center console where they could be reached without looking too long away from the road. A 5-inch display audio system is standard equipment for the hybrid SV, but our example was equipped with the optional premium package that adds nearly all of the available bells and whistles for $2,870. One of those whistles is the upgraded 7-inch Nissan Connect infotainment system. Along with the larger display, owners also get decent navigation software with voice recognition. The system supports Siri's free connectivity when paired with an iPhone device, but not true Apple CarPlay or Android Auto smartphone integration. Instead, Nissan offers very basic integration with a handful of apps including Pandora, iHeartRadio and Facebook. There's also the ability to search for destinations online via Google when connected to the automaker's own smartphone app. Overall, Nissan Connect hasn't changed much since this generation of the Rogue debuted back in 2014 and is starting to feel very dated. Along with the infotainment features, the premium package also adds a massive panoramic moonroof, a motion-activated power liftgate, Bose audio and Nissan's surround view camera system, which stitches feeds from 4 cameras mounted around the Rogue Hybrid into one 360-degree view of the area around the car. With motion detection software, the cameras can also audibly alert drivers if they get too close to a person or a pet. This is in addition to the standard SV trim level equipment that the Rogue Hybrid rolls off of the line with, including blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alerts and forward pre-collision alerts with automatic emergency braking. The Rogue Hybrid is also available in the SL trim level, which adds leather trim and LED headlights with automatic high beams and makes many of the SV premium package options into standard features. About the best thing that I can say about the Rogue Hybrid that already hasn't been said about the non-hybrid Rogue is that at least it doesn't cost much more. The 2017 Nissan Rogue Hybrid SV, technically a 2017.5 model, starts at $26,640, only a $1,000 premium. Add $1,350 for all-wheel drive, $2,870 for the premium package and a $960 destination charge to reach ours tested price of $31,820. With such a low hybrid premium, it makes sense for many drivers to go ahead and check that box if you're already specing a Rogue. Using the EPA's standard calculations of 15,000 annual miles and current fuel prices, the hybrid powertrain will start paying for itself within 5 years of ownership, sooner, if you drive more annual miles than the conservative estimate. If you're not already sold on the Rogue, there are compelling alternatives to the Rogue Hybrid, including Toyota's RAV4 Hybrid. Even Honda's non-hybrid, turbocharged CR-V only falls a few mpgs of the Nissan's fuel-sipping estimates, but is way more pleasant to live with, offering much better tech, performance and amenities.